along with their solution. So Utopia is very close company for the deployment of MDG in many of the organizations. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
yes.
And which is
So
then partners with the SAP Labs, I guess.
yes, yes. So it is in partners with SAP Labs, Germany actually. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So in this training, okay, uh, uh, I will not go into details on the ABAP coding side, okay, and which I don't think you
Okay.
will need more details as you have already worked on ABAP, okay. So the training will
Okay.
specifically tell you what MDG product is on an overall view, okay, why MDG, okay, how do you configure a MDG solution if you are configuring, okay, how do you customize this the MDG configuration on a whole. So where do you do the UI configuration? How do you integrate? How are you are going to call define a workflow? How you can do a rule-based workflow? Okay. How you set up the systems? So I will talk more on the MDG front, not on the ABAP front. Okay. I
Okay.
think that will
Okay.
be a better picture for you. Okay. So that you understand things from the MDG side and you kind of link it with your ABAP coding as well. Okay. So MDG is as a solution has given too many options like the field exits or the other baddie options, okay, which can be easily customized, okay. So in during our course of this training, you will understand
Okay.
all the bits of MDG, okay, what all are involved in this, and once you are into any project, like you are already getting into MDG project now, you will have further hands-on in that, okay. So you cannot expect like you will come out as a complete MDG expert in this 30 days of time, okay, or 30 hours when we are talking about it, okay. So but you will be very much confident based on what background you have that you can go ahead and start working on MDG straight away, okay. So
Okay.
any specific requirements what you are looking for? I would think of like you will definitely like to understand all the bits of MDG, so that it is easier for you to link up to the things. So anything specific what you are looking for, then I can try to incorporate in this training.
Okay.
So
Because
yeah,
Saurabh,
yes,
before I don't know at least SAP MDG.
okay,
Once I will get into offer in that Ethiopianic Global,
yes,
I don't know whether there is an Ethiopianic Global company is there or not, because it is a new. I don't know that Ethiopianic is a new company, and they are not,
okay,
they are going to handling mainly on SAP MDG train SAP MD. They are going to developing MDG solution to give up to hand over the SAP labs mainly.
okay. So did I write the have I written the name correctly? Utopia, right? This is the one.
Yes, yes, yes. This is the same.
Yes. So
You know
you are
already,
yes, yes,
Saurabh.
yes, yes, yes,
You know
Bala.
already about this Ethiopianic
Yes,
Global.
yes, yes.
Or any
So it
candidates are attending the.
no, I think it
Uh,
is only you who is attending this training. Okay, but
okay, okay,
if I was knowing of Utopia, I don't know the full name. Utopia is the name what I know. Okay, but if it is Utopia, definitely you are going into this MDG solution if you already know. So it is good.
a complete name is the Ethiopia India Private Limited. I think so.
Okay.
But commonly everyone can spell it as an Ethiopia. Utopia.
Okay. Yes, yes, yeah. So you are into going into the place. So you have not got an offer from this, right?
Sorry.
Or you have got an offer from this company? Have you already joined Utopia?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's 1 month is gone away by
Okay,
joining.
okay, okay. And you are into MDG project now, or you are going into a project?
Right now they are not yet allocated. They are not yet
Okay,
allocated any projects, but they might be going to allocating MDG project only.
okay, okay. No worries,
So
Bala.
why we need to wait until that time? So that's why my intention to learn MDG MDG.
Okay, okay. That's fair enough. So I can truly understand why you are looking for. So what I will do is I will try to give you a brief demo today. Okay, what we are going to cover.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
and also give you a short brief maybe later on when we confirm everything that about the training, okay, date and
Okay, okay.
everything you finalize, will definitely go in the detail section. But right now, I'll try to give you a brief on everything what we are going to cover. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So to start with, so anything, any further question? No, I can start. Naveen, do you
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to pitch in for anything? Is Naveen in that call? No, he's not there. So it's, I think it's me and you. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So SAP MDG, Balu. Okay.
Okay,
As
sir.
you are completely technical, so I'll definitely try to give you some functional feedback. Okay, and you can very well ask question whenever you want. Okay. So
Okay.
MDG is, as you would already know, is Master Data Governance, SAP Master Data Governance. Okay.
Okay.
So when we are talking about any the data in the in an organization, okay, talking in the SAP terms itself, okay. So SAP itself defines the data into two categories primarily, okay. One is the master data, one is the transactional data, okay.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so master data, when I say master data, okay, let's say you are engaging with any company, or you are engaging with any customer, okay, and you are going to have business with that customer, okay. So what customer will do? Customer will buy products from you, okay. So first of all, to get into those transactions, hello.
Hello, Saurabh.
So I see some music going on. I'm not sure how it
From my end, it is.
is. Just someone playing music. Some advertisement was going on, I guess. Hello, Balu, is it? Can you hear me now? Hello. There are something going on related to iDoc. Can okay. Anyways, if Balu is able to hear, I am okay to go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, I'm hearing Saurabh.
Okay. Okay. So basically, Balu, where I was, that's completely okay. So I was talking about master data. So when you start engaging with a client, a customer to do a business, you first of all will like to define a customer in your system. Okay. So any entity which is used to define a customer, which in a very layman term is the name, address, postal code, his contact details, his billing address, and other details are are the details which defines a customer, which can be called as a legal detail and which will not change over a short period of time. So like if you are going to engage with any customer, that customer's address, name, etc. will not is not going to change in a very frequent manner. That's so
Yeah.
those kind of attributes of the customer data is defined as the master data. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
And okay, got it. So let's say if you are opening your account in Flipkart, so you register yourself with the name and address and other things. Okay. So those
Yes.
details are classified as the master data. Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay.
on on the third, on someday you go ahead and do some purchasing. Okay. Order something, some quantity at some price, and again you go ahead and someday you return something and again order. So those kind of data are classified as transactional data. Okay. So
Okay.
the master data as such is very important in terms of an organization, because in the current scenario, most of the organization have are globally uh, now are now global. So they have plants and other systems across the globe. Okay. So generally we are talking about multiple ERP system which where the transactions has been handled globally. Okay. So this master data, okay, so let's say you are engaging with Wipro Infotech, okay, or Robert Bosch, okay, for example, okay, and your plant in India also supplies something, and your plant in US also supplies something, okay. So uh, this master data should be similar, should be what you had, what you can say. constant across this plant A, which is in India, and plant B in US. So it is just an example of two systems, but master data has to be same across the globe. Reason being, every transaction what you are doing is been done on the master data. So tax, for example, tax, okay, tax is a very critical thing, okay. So if there is a mismatch in tax in customer one and in plant A and B, there is a very well chance that you can get into taxation issues. So companies are very strict, countries are very strict in terms of tax. So that is just an example. But the the point over here is you master data is a very critical entity for any organization. Okay, and given that we have multiple systems, okay, it is very essential for an organization to maintain their master data correctly. Okay, so back in 1905s or something, it was realized that master data is very critical. Let's say material master data. So there is a master data which is there available in plant A and plant B. Okay, plant A, but it is not available in plant B. But this master data is not maintained at the central level, so no one knows whether it is available in plant A and or not available in plant B. So you will go ahead and order something to purchase again the material what is not there in plant B. Rather, you could have taken it from plant A. Okay, so there are many scenarios for which has been identified, and the need for master data, central master data, has been taken up very seriously. Okay, so so there were solution for master data management. Okay, but so SAP in 2000 back in 2005 sometime. Okay, has acquired a company, a product from Hyperion, okay, which was called as SAP, which was later named as SAP MDM, SAP Master Data Management. Okay, so this master data management was the solution from SAP side to maintain your master data in a central system. Okay, when I say central system, okay, so it will involve pulling up all the data from the various systems, okay, third party systems, putting into a central system, and now creating and maintaining the master data from a central system, and then integrate these data with various other systems. Okay, so the concept of this central master data management came up with a solution of SAP MDM, which is still live. So this SAP MDM, as I said, was been acquired from Hyperion, and it was not a ABAP stack, ABAP based product. It was actually a C++ based product, which SAP has enhanced and was using as a SAP as a master data solution until date. Okay, so various companies are already on SAP MDM. Okay, but as if this MDM product was not a SAP's own product, it needed a separate server to be hosted. Okay, and it was not that tightly integrated with the ECC system. It was not tightly coupled with the ECC system, I can say. Okay,
Okay.
so now in past 3 years, I think 4 years now. Okay, SAP came up with this. So SAP with ECC installation, ECC 6.1, EHP 5, I think. Okay, it was provide MDG solution was SAP came up with this MDG solution. Okay, which is the master data governance process, governance system. Okay, so this has been kept in mind, this that SAP MDG will be replacing SAP MDM in a later phase of time. Okay, so there are few capabilities which are there in SAP MDM. Okay, which I will cover. So I'll not go into details of everything of SAP MDM and MDG now. So okay, so I will cover these details in the later sessions. Okay, but for now, you can take it as SAP MDG is the roadmap for SAP. Okay, wherein they will replace SAP MDM completely with the MDG product as a product. Okay, so basically you have worked in the EC system, the ERP system. Okay, so we have transactions like XD01, you might be knowing, to create a customer. Okay, then MM01 to create a material. Okay, so when you go to create a customer or a material, you will see the details like name 1, name 2, name 3, etc., postal code, address, and other details. Okay, I will try to show you that screen. Okay, we'll go to the canvas. I'm not sure whether I have the access right now. 301. Okay. If not, yeah, I have. Okay. It asks for account group. Select employees. Number is need to assign some number. Okay, anyways, I'll go to XT02 and try to open one customer. So I'm trying to select one customer with sales area, but it is not there. But I will show you the basic details. Okay, so like in the screen, can you see the screen, Balu?
Yeah, I'm able to see.
Okay, Balu, so let's, like you see the title, name, search term, street, post district, postal code. Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Yes.
I'm getting some noise on the online.
Yeah, even I am getting. I'm not sure what is there. Someone is against on side also giving training, I guess. Someone is speaking, right? Is it the same thing what you're getting?
Not he not able to speaking. Somewhat noise I'm getting frequently.
Okay. Is it better now? I'm just holding the earphone in my hand. 1 second. I'll close the door. I don't know whether it is coming. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Balu, is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. Someone is typing. I don't know. Someone's typing message. But anyways, we'll sort it out later on. Okay. So yeah, Balu. So if you're not able to hear, just tell me. I'll repeat myself. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So Balu, so you can see via the transaction XG01, we can
Customer
create a
create.
customer
Yeah.
create. Okay. And you're getting all the details over here, right? So
Yeah.
once you create this customer, it will be saved in the KNA1 table. Okay.
Yes,
The
yes,
customers
yes,
table is the KNA1 table. Okay.
yes.
So what MDG said, okay, what MDM was doing, SAP MDM, okay, it was not allowing you to create this customer from a XD01 transaction. Rather, the customer was created at the MDM system, okay, and so that master data was maintained over there and been transferred, syndicated to the ERP system. Okay, this system has an IDOC, or you can very well have any other processes. Okay, so generally that was the MDM solution. So master data was maintained via MDM. So there in the MDM system, SAP gave the provision where you can send the request, the creation customer for approval to various steps. Okay, so there was workflow which used to go to a first level of approval and then second level of approval, and also there were few checks to be done for validation of the data, etc. And the data was sent to the ECC system, any of the ECC systems. So that MDM was the solution like that. Okay. Now,
We mean,
uh,
Saurabh,
yeah.
we mean to say MDM or the MDG is nothing but an interface.
No, what I mean to say, okay, and I'm not talking about MDG right now. Okay, I'm just trying to give you a background on MDM as well. Okay,
Okay,
so
okay,
MDM is a complete system. Okay, not an
okay,
interface. It is a complete system. Okay, where you can log in. Okay, it will have a UI front end. It will have a back end. It will have a separate tools, okay, for management of data, uh, enhancement of the schema and other things. So MDM is a complete system. I can show you the
okay,
MDM system future session. I have access to few of them. Okay, so
okay,
it is a complete system, okay, which allows a user, okay, end user, to create
okay,
a customer through the MDM system, update the customer from that system, and that data can be sent to the ECC system, what we are saying. Okay,
Okay.
and via iDocs. So that was the interface what I was telling. Okay, so there will be an interface which will connect the MDM system and the SAP
Is
system via PI, for example.
okay.
Okay, so that was the MDM solution, master data solution, MDM solution. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
okay,
Continue. Continue.
can clear no? If you have any doubt, like, very well you ask. Okay, I can repeat it in number of times. No worries. Okay,
Okay. Okay,
so
sir.
okay, so the later product, the MDG product, which is the hot skill in the market right now. Okay, so what SAP
Okay.
said, what SAP on the SAP roadmap. Okay, as MDM is completely out of ABAP stack. Okay, so whenever SAP was going as a product to any organization, it was not able to place itself as a MDM solution also, because SAP MDM needed separate server to be installed and was not on ECC system, ERP system.
Okay.
Okay, so what SAP did, okay, they came up with this MDG solution which is on the top of your ERP system. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
it is just an add-on.
Okay.
Okay, add-on to your SAP ECC system. Okay, so when you install a ECC instance, okay, which is ERP 6.0 and EHP 5 and above, okay,
Yeah.
it
Okay. Okay.
automatically comes up with a business function which can be activated, a business add-in, you can say. I would not go to functions now. Okay, a additional add-in is there which you can very well activate. Okay, and use the MDG solution for to govern your master data. Okay, so when I say govern your master data, okay, so you were anyways, why I showed you this screen. Okay, you are anyways creating this customer through XZ01. Okay, but there is no governance process in this creation. Okay, so what they did, they have enhanced the enhanced and come with this solution. Okay, where MDG add on, when once you activate MDG, the business function, okay, it will activate a data model, a separate staging table, basically a UI. I'll start with the application presentation level. Okay, so it will activate a UI. Okay, it will give you a UI where you can log in and create the same customer via that UI. Okay, that UI will
Okay.
be the MDG UI. Okay, the MDG UI will allow you a user to create a customer. That customer will be stored in a MDG specific table. Okay, talking in your terms, there will be a Z table. You can assume it. Okay, so KNA1 was your main table. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes. Some.
where you want the data. Okay, and there is a staging table. Okay, before get the data gets into the stage, the main table, the KNA1 table, there will be a middle table. Okay, which will be which is called in MDG term as a staging table. Okay, so once the user log into the portal, creates a record, it will lie in the staging table. Okay, when so this process will be so there is a workflows, right, a bit.
No. 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 I don't know
No.
the workflow.
Okay. Okay. So basically, SAP Workflows is basically used to govern a system. Basically, it allows so you can assign a request, a change request against a workflow. Okay. So I will not go to workflow now. I'll talk in layman terms. So once user has logged in, the data got stored in the staging table. Okay. So that user who has logged in, you can consider him as a requester. Okay, so a requester logs into the UI, create a customer and submits the record. Okay, what will happen, the data will not be sent to KNA1, instead it will be stored in the staging table. Okay, the data is in staging table now. Okay, so the next step, it is configured via the workflow, SAP workflow. We also have BRF workflow, rule based workflow. Okay, the next so once the request is submitted, it will go to a approval to the next stage. Okay, and this will be handled via the MDG. Okay, so there will be workflow. Okay, through which, and there will be user or role assigned to that workflow. Okay, to which it will go for the next level of approval. Okay, once so that approval will be a UWL task list. Again talking in your ABAP term. Okay, so this request will be seen in the approval UWL task list, who can approve this request or reject this request. Okay, once this is approved by the approval, okay, it it again is a UI front end. Okay, where he can approve or reject. Okay, so that user will approve that request. Okay, once it is approved, it will go to the next could be straight away some completion of record, or you can also enhance the workflow to have any additional workflow. So basically what you are giving the user option to govern your data. So this is where I'm trying to come to. Okay, governance in the sense you are flowing. So there's a life cycle for the creation of the customer. Okay, so creation starts with the requester, it goes to approval, the next level of approval, and once it is approved completely, the record is sent from the staging table to the active table, which in terms of customer will be the KNA1 table, or in terms of material it will be MARA table.
Okay, once the request is created from the in front of from the UI point of view, you mean to say, Saurabh?
Yes.
UI point of view means just like our web type above application, we can consider it is.
I will show you better why to consider it. I'll just show you. Okay, it is a
Okay.
NWBC screen, so you can have a NetWeaver portal, okay, as well as a NetWeaver business client. Okay, so generally,
Okay.
NWBC is the easier part and mostly configured everywhere. Okay, so like I'm going through this NWBC transaction. Okay, but generally, if you
Okay.
think of from a user perspective, he will have a URL through which he will log in. Okay, so NetWeaver business client. Okay, so this is based on the roles what has been assigned to you. Okay, so currently they have assigned all the roles. So this is a training server. Okay, so MDG C menu. I'll try to open this one, customer menu. Okay, so if I have only this role, it will directly open this particular screen. Okay, so this is the MDG C screen what I was talking about. Okay, it is again
Okay.
very easily configurable via FPM. Okay,
Okay.
so the process starts for customer, it starts from a search customer. So you search a customer first and then see if the record is not there, you want to create a record, or you just want to change the record. Okay,
Okay.
let's see if it opens, because I have not checked the system whether it has got configured correctly. I think we'll have to check the system, Bala. So it has not got configured correctly. It is something which is okay. It has got open. Okay, change request has opened, but we should see the create request actually. Ah, it is not correctly configured, Bala. I'll have to look into the system. Uh-huh. Okay,
Sorry,
Bala.
Saurabh?
Bala, actually, it is not opening. This is a training server which we have just received the details. I'll have to look into the systems why it is not opening.
Okay.
I'll try to open something else. Okay, I wanted to show you the MDG screen actually completely. So it will show us a request to create customer search or create materials completely. So like this is a launch pad. Okay, this is a landing page when an application is open. Okay, you can see search material, you can search material, display material, create material, change material, mark material for deletions. Okay, so all these process was actually maintained by XZ01, XZ02, and XZ03. Okay, so in this case MM01, MM02, and MM03. But now when you have MDG, you will do the governance from the MDG screen. Okay, So user will certainly go into the system and do a launch a request from here. Let's see if it opens or not. It should open. Yeah, it works. Okay. So it asks for the material number. Give from 39. Okay, by the time it opens, Bala, let's just keep speaking. Okay, so did you understand what I was saying? Trying to give you a background. Okay, so I'll just repeat myself once again. Okay, so you will see. So MDG have its own separate UI.
Saurabh, sorry
Bala,
for. Hello, Saurabh.
hello. Yeah, Bala, are you able to hear me?
Again, the noise is coming. Somewhat disturbance is coming from your end.
There is nothing over here, Bala. But is it better if I hold my earphone in the hand? Do you see that? Hear any disturbance?
Yeah, you
Hello?
can. You can. But I'm getting the same noise. Okay, you can continue, Saurabh.
Okay, okay, Bala.
Why? I don't know. Actually, from my end, there is no
I don't
disturbance.
know, Bala. Even I am hearing few things. I am hearing someone talking about user exits actually,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know what is that. But anyways, okay, we'll
Okay.
try to
Okay.
connect, reconnect, or sometime when we are doing the actual session. Okay, so
Okay.
okay, so basically, Bala, to show you the system, I'll have to do some settings. Okay, so the material is not working properly, but that surely I can make it work. Okay, and if
Okay.
I can share also with you whenever I'm trying to fix. Okay, so what happens is basically you will see a user process completely to create and update, and it will go through different approval. So when I
Okay.
talk about governance, it is not just about approval. Okay, so MDG has given too many capabilities. Okay, where you can
Okay.
integrate with various third party to enrich your data. Okay,
Okay.
and enrich your data is we are improving the quality of the data. Okay,
Data.
yeah, so basically in terms of customer, okay, like generally you might have registered yourself to NASCOM, correct? So
Yeah.
you might have a NSR number. Yes, so
No, 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 no. I heard about that one.
okay, okay. So basically, for people like us, IT professional, we have NSR. Similarly, for customers and vendors, like the organization, like I was saying, Robert Bosch, they will have a DUNS number, DUNS number. It is called DUNS and Bradstreet number. Okay. So there are various third party which actually holds the data of some organization. Okay, and whose the services you can use to enhance your data in the system. Okay, so MDG also gives you capability, okay, where you can do a configuration with the third party vendor service provider to enhance your data in the system. Okay, so that is one capability for the governance part. Okay, so first one, it gave you the approval process. Okay, second, it has given you capabilities for enhancement. Thirdly, I'm not sure whether you are aware, but there are tools like data services, okay, BODS data services, okay, and also information stewards, okay. So you can very well connect with a third party data services as well, BODS, okay, to cleanse your data. Let's say you have hundreds of thousands of material, what which you want to cleanse. You can very well integrate your MDG system with the BODS system and cleanse your data. Okay, so all those capabilities are also there. Okay, thirdly, okay, it MDG 8.0 and 6.6, I think from 7.0, you can have your HANA database installed. Okay, so it can run on a HANA database. Okay,
MDG.
MDG, yes,
Uh-huh.
and okay, and most importantly, MDG, for MDG, they have given a specific framework. Like we have business rule framework, BRF, for workflows. Okay, there is another framework which comes with MDG. Okay, which is the data replication framework. So like I said, for MDM system, we use PI system to connect to various systems to send a data. Okay, so similarly, if you are holding this master data in a central system, okay, which is your MDG system, okay, you definitely would like to send the data from your MDG system to various other consuming system, the systems who will consume this data. Okay, like I said, the concept of central master data. Okay, you want to govern the data in a central system, and this data has to be available in the various system what you have. Let's say you have a CRM system or a SRM system or one remote reporting system. So you want to send the data from MDG to these systems. Okay, so MDG gave you the provision of DRF, a framework they have given, where you can define the systems, what are the different consuming systems. You can define the methods how you want to connect to these systems. Okay, you can define the structure, what data you have to send to them, and very easily connect to all these systems. Okay, so MDG gave you this DRF plus framework. Okay, and why it is very critical. Okay, so like I was saying, SRM system, CRM system, and reporting system. Okay, so your Robert Bosch, okay, can exist in system A as a remote as a ERP number as 123, and another system as ERP number as 246, for example. Okay, so MDG can hold the key mappings. Key mapping is a very important feature which comes with MDG. So you can for the same record in MDG, Robert Bosch, you can maintain different keys. Okay, different keys like 123 for system A, so 1246 for system B. Okay, and when you send the data out of MDG to this system, instead of sending that MDG's ERP number, you can send 123 to system A and 246 to system B. Did you understood this point? Bala?
Hello?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Bala. Yeah, Bala. Did you got this point, Bala? The value mapping one.
No.
Okay. No worries. I'll repeat it. Okay. So, okay. So this MDG system, MDG deployment, okay, will be done as a central system. Okay. So in your organization, you will have n number of systems. Let's say you have 7 systems. Okay. But you want to maintain the data in your MDG system, the master data in your MDG system. Okay. So when you are maintaining your master data from the MDG system, you need to connect to several other systems.
Yes.
Okay. So before you deploy this MDG system, those 7 systems might already be working. Okay. So there are 7 systems which were already working. Okay. So Robert Bosch was there in system A, and Robert Bosch was also there in system C. Okay. So once you deploy your MDG solution, okay, you will also try to pull these data and put into your MDG system. Okay. So when you pull this system data into your MDG system, you are consolidating the data. Okay. You have picked the customer's data, what is there in system A, what is there in system B and C. Okay. So you have got Robert Bosch in all 3 systems. You said that we have 3 Robert Bosch. So boss, we want to maintain just one Robert Bosch in the MDG system. Okay. And because this Robert Bosch was there in ABC3, okay, all the 3 systems, and there is a very important thing called ERP number. Okay, ERP number is the unique key which identify Robert Bosch in system A. Okay, ERP number is the unique key for system B and C. But all these 3 can have different ERP number because it was already there. Okay, so to link this data, the Robert Bosch in MDG to all these 3 systems, okay, against the Robert Bosch what you have created in MDG system, you can maintain 3 different keys, 3 different ERP numbers. Okay, so each ERP number can be assigned against system A, B, and C. So we can maintain 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and 4, 5, 6. And once you send the data out of MDG to these systems, okay, you can use the old key to send the data to the respective system. so they don't have to create new IDs. So I'm sure that it will be a bit tricky for you to understand, but I have to give you a concept of consolidation, how the data will come, and other things. But
Okay.
for now, you can understand that you have capabilities to maintain different keys for different systems. Okay, and DRF basically will give you a provision to easily integrate with the third-party system who will consume your master data. Okay, so for connection between MDG and your 7 systems what you have in your landscape, there is a DRF framework, data replication framework, which MDG provides as out of box when you enable MDG in your system. Okay, so basically what we talked, MDG gave you a solution through which you can maintain your master data. You will get a UI, you will get a specific data model, you will get workflow to do a governance, you can add search and enhancement, and fourthly you can very easily integrate this data with your consuming system. Okay, so basically
Okay.
what MDG has given you is an overall package, okay,
Okay.
to govern your master data.
Okay.
Does it make some clear picture in your mind what MDG system is now? What is
Okay.
MDG?
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Now I'll try to go into the next level. Okay,
Okay. Okay, sir.
okay. I'll try to go to try to link things. Okay, what to what we have talked about. Okay,
Okay.
so we
Okay.
okay, so we talked about a staging table. Okay,
Yeah. Yes, staging table.
yes. So staging table will have a structure, right?
Staging or the steering table.
Staging,
State
STAGING, staging table.
GI. Yes, sir.
NG.
Staging table.
Okay, so why staging table? It is very, so the name staging table because it is the stage before the active table. So they have given a staging table.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so it is a midware. So
Yeah.
during the processing of customer, the data will be stored in that, and once it is processed, it will be sent to the actual system.
Actual. Actual table of this. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So as a product, MDG product, okay, uh, SAP has given standard solution for material, okay, supplier,
Okay.
customer, financial.
That is SAP MDG for supplier for S. It is.
Yes, MDGS is MDG supplier,
Yes.
okay,
Yes. Yes. Okay.
MDGC is MDG customer, okay,
Okay.
MDGM is your MDG material data, and
Okay.
MDGF is financial data.
Yes. Yes. Financial data. Yes.
Okay, so these are the solution which SAP gives out of the box. Out of the box means as a standard. Okay, so once you deploy, have MDG activated, you can use these 4. Okay,
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
okay, and going to again to the next level. Okay, taking the example of my customers. Okay, so
Mhm.
when I say they give solution for customer, okay, MDGC. Okay, so when you activate the business function relevant to MDGC, okay, you will see, you will by default get a UI. Okay, so this UI will be pre-configured, everything will be configured, you just have to do some bit of activation to use that screen. Okay, so out
Okay.
by default when you deploy MDGC customer, you will get a standard UI. Okay, you will get a, so that staging table is a table which is linked to a data model. Okay, so you will get a data model, a standard data model which will be similar to your KNA1 table. Okay, so KNA1 table is just the master data table, so the basic legal details are maintained in the KNA1 table, but there
Yes.
are
Yes.
linked attributes like in terms of customers, like the sales area data and the company code data. Okay, which is the KNVP and the KNVV table.
Okay. Okay.
Understood? Okay, so if you see the customer XD01 which we were saying, or you might already be knowing, okay, it contains the general data which is stored in the KNA1 table, and it also contains the sales area and the company code of data. Okay, like we were seeing, trying to search the data, right?
Yeah.
So it is already open. Let's go to that screen again. Okay, XD03. Okay, so you see, so this was a customer. Okay, there is sales or data and there is company code.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you are doing a transaction, you are trying to create a customer. Okay, so you create this general data. Okay, you create, so there we have not selected any sales area. Okay, but you can see a tab over here on the top which is a sales area and a company code. It is showing sales area information. Okay,
Yeah. Sales area information.
yeah, and there will be company code information. Okay, so the data
Okay.
is this is just a test data, but data is not there. But what I meant to say is, if you see a customer, it will have something which is stored in the KNA1 table. Okay, which is the general data for a customer. Then there will be
Okay.
something, for example, say here, which is stored in the KNVV table. There's one more table,
Okay.
KNVV. Okay,
Okay.
then there is one more table, KNVP, which is the company code. Not the company code is KNB1. Okay, so there is one more
Okay.
table which is called the KNB1 table. All these tables we can go into the browser and check very well. Okay, but I'll
Okay.
not do it right now in this session. Okay, so this
Okay.
KNB1 table will have the yeah, company code details. Okay, so all these details will be summed up in the data model. So when you deploy MDGC, there will be a data model BP, a business partner. BP is the nomenclature for that. For material, it is MM. Okay, so this data model will come as part of MDGC. Okay, so you can, that will be by default activated once you import the business configuration BC sets. Okay, those things will cover on the configuration, and
Mhm.
that data model will have all the fields what are relevant for customers. Okay, and that data model is there, UI is there. Thirdly, there will be a standard change request. Okay, so change request is a very important key thing. Okay, you definitely need to understand that. Okay, so it is not very difficult, but change request, when I say change request, when you create a customer, when you try to create a customer via MDG, okay, it is assigned with a change request. Okay, so this change
Okay.
request will be there until you completely activate that customer. Okay, so that customer creation, that the life cycle what I was talking, okay, will be holded under the entity change request ID. Okay,
Mhm.
so it is like a request number, like you go into a system and create a ticket for yourself. Okay, you get a
Okay.
number assigned to it. So similarly, when you try to create a customer, you get a change request ID generated. Okay, and this change request ID will be same throughout your complete creation. Okay, so once you log into system, a change and submit a record, a change request will be generated. Okay, change request
Okay.
123. Okay, so it will go to the approval to the next stage. Okay, he will say, see that same change request ID 123 available in his inbox for approval. Okay, similarly, once it is approved, you will see it in the next level of approval if there is one another. Once that change request is approved and activated, just the change request get into its last step, final approved. Okay, and the data gets activated in the KNA1 table. Okay, so that we get different kind of change request type. So like I was talking about create. So for create there is a change request type cust L1 P2, for example. I'm just giving a name. Okay, so there is a change request type for changing of the customer. Okay, cust L2 P2, for example. Okay, so those things will cover details later on in the training, but
Oh, oh,
there are
okay. Okay.
change request types. Okay, so these change
Okay.
request type will be defined against each process what you want to do, like the create or the change. Okay, and these change requests
Okay.
are assigned with a standard workflow template. Okay, so that
Okay.
workflow template will define how many steps of approval it will go. Okay,
Mhm. Okay.
and that will be customizable. Okay, so you can customize, you want 2 steps or 3 steps, and you can also do a BRF rule based workflow. Okay, where you want to see if the data entered by some customer is this, I want to send it to approval to Saurabh. If it is approved, if the data is something else, I want to send it to Balu. So those kind of steps are available. Okay, for customization. Okay,
Okay.
so that is there. Thirdly, uh, that SMT mappings. So basically, once you activate the data, once it is submitted, there is already given a Smt mapping which will copy the data from the staging table to the active table. So you don't need to do anything. If it is Mdg, if you want to if you go to Mdg Screen, approve something, after the approval final is done, you can see the data in the Mdg system. Okay, in the KNA1 table, KNVB table, and other tables. So you can go to XD02, search your customer, and you will see all the details there. What you have created in via Mdg. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and the fourth bit which I was talking to DRF. Okay, if you have any other system which you want to connect, you can define the system, the third-party system, and do the triggering of the data with those parties, the third parties. So this is the overall Mdg solution overview, very high overview in a layman term. Okay, I hope some idea you might have got a gist of what Mdg will be. Okay.
Yes, yes, I got it.
Yeah, I will definitely once we finalize everything, I will try to show you the process first. Okay, how it is approved and kind of thing. So it will give you more wider picture, and I will try to come up with examples for Mdg. Okay, so okay, so that was the overview of Mdg. Okay, then how do you configure everything for Mdg? Okay, so the transaction what we use for Mdg is the Mdg IMG.
Yes, I heard Mdg IMG, where we need to get the data model and UI model, like
Everything I will show you. Okay.
yes, yeah.
Okay, so in the screen I have just logged on to the transaction Mdg IMG. Okay.
Okay.
So here you can see whatever I was talking about. Okay.
Yeah. General settings, master data governance for
Financial.
financials, for business partner, supplier, customer, business consolidation for material. This is
So
all
this
like they are segregating. I can say in normal words.
okay.
They are segregating that Mdg solution for financial. They are segregating like this now. Financial, supplier, customer.
Yes. So maybe not all the organization will need financials. Maybe they only want customers. Okay, or maybe they only want material. Okay, so you don't need to do the configuration for all of them. You can very well do only for customers. Okay, so over here when you see these kind of things, what do you mean by general setting? Okay, so the general setting is a setting which is applicable to all of this, all the Mdg solution, financial, business partner, supplier. Okay, so
Okay.
and when you go inside, let's say customer, okay, you will only see the transaction which are relevant to customer. Okay, so this is the general setting is, so we will be using general setting in most of the cases. Okay, where you will be which are common to all. Okay, but you have to do the so it is just the IMG path, nothing else. So for general setting and financial, but being a Mdg consultant, you should know how do we do the configuration of Mdg. Okay, if you want that Mdg customer which we saw not working, or you want to go ahead with starting in configuring a Mdg C from scratch. Okay, so you need to know where to go and what to do. Definitely we have guides, okay, through which we have to follow. Okay, but we should know where we exactly have to go and do and what we are trying to do. Okay, so this Mdg IMG gives you the complete control of Mdg. Okay, so you can do the configuration of Mdg completely through here. Okay, if you are doing any enhancement, you have to go through this. Okay, so I will share few documents once we start. Okay, like if you want to do, so like I said, there is financial, there is custom material, customer, supplier. Okay, but there could be a requirement where you which is not completed by these four. So you can very well define a complete and new entity. Okay, like if you want to maintain employee, for example. Okay, so you can completely define employee as a new entity. You can define your own data model, you can define your own UI, you can define your own workflow, you can define your own change request, and you can completely define a solution for it. So in the session we will definitely try to do a custom entity development. So in the agenda I have given, so we will also try to create a complete set of entity with its own data model, its own UI, a change request, a standard workflow to assign to it. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that will be covered. Okay. So like you were mentioning the data modeling and UI modeling. Okay. So like you can see over here. Yeah. So this is the data modeling. Okay. So you can go
Yeah.
ahead and see the data modeling over here. Okay. I will click on edit data model.
Which is the standard one?
I will show. So yeah, this is a standard one. So this is the complete set of data model with which you are available with, which are available. Okay. So you can see this is these are the data models. So what I said that BP is a business partner, which is the data model for vendor and customer. Okay. I will highlight it. Maybe it is not clear. This is the one. Okay.
SP BP. Okay. Okay.
BP, business partner.
Business
Okay.
partner.
So this is the data model for customer.
Business partner.
Business partner is shared with both customer and vendor. I will tell you the details later on. I will not confuse too much now. Okay. But this
Okay.
BP is the data model for customers as well as vendor. Okay. So customer data model will be BP. Okay. And if you go click on BP, you will see different type of entity types. So in MDG, okay, the data model has been defined as 4 types of entity type. Okay. So during the further session, I will walk you through what type of entity types are there. So there are 4 types of entity type. Okay, entity type 1, entity type 2, entity type 3, and entity type 4. Okay, majorly we will be working with entity type 1 and entity type 4. Okay, so what are the different use? Okay, so just for example, entity type 1 is kind of a key entity. So basically the entity type 1 will be created is a main table. Okay, I don't know whether you are aware of main table or not. So let's say I want to define a customer. Okay, so a customer will have entities. A very short example: name one, name, address, phone number, and email. It's a four fields. Okay, so we will define the customer as an entity type 1, whose attributes will be name one, name, country, telephone number, and other fields, as I said. Okay, so this is the customer is the entity type 1, and it has 4 attributes. Okay, and you might also say that I also want to maintain a bank. Okay, so bank will always be against the entity type 1. Okay, a customer is created and its bank is created. So we create entity type 4. So entity type 4 is the type which is dependent on entity type 1. Okay, and there are different ways. So based on what type of entity you select, okay, you can define a new data model completely, as I said. Okay, and definitely we'll do it while doing the session. Okay, so basically when you define a table, you have to think. Basically, it will not come to completely design, but you should have an understanding how to go ahead. Okay, like I was saying, we have first you have to know what are entity type available. Okay, then you picturize what are the attributes what you want to cover. Okay, and then you find out, okay, name 1, name 2, name 3 will be governed as a attribute to the entity type 1, and then you think that bank should be dependent on entity type 1, so I'll maintain it separately as a type 4. Okay, and those kind of things. Okay, so for basically MDG gives you an option, so it is a relationship model. Okay, and it gives you a 4 entity types to which you can very well use to define a complete set of data model if you want. Okay, so in case of BP, which is the standard one, there are these are different entity types what they have defined. Okay, so what I was saying, different 4 types entity types. So one is the changeable via other entities. So I'll tell all these in details later on. But in the drop down, you see these are the four entity types. Okay.
Okay.
So these so there are different reasons and why and there will be reasons which to use. Okay, but type 1 and type 1 is one which is changeable via change request generated table. Okay, so this is the type 1, the first one. Okay, and the fourth one is a uh, is the type 4, which I was saying, which is changeable via other entity. So it can be changed via entity type 1. but you won't understand much over here unless I tell you more details. Okay, but
Okay.
in this demo session we'll not cover all of them. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so
That I know.
yeah, so this is the data model. Okay, and as I was mentioning, there is a relationship what you can go and see. Okay, so once you select a data model, okay, we can see the relationship within the data model. Okay, we need to go to the
Mm-hmm.
entity type, and entity types relationship we can go and see, select any entity type, and we can go and see the relationship of it. Okay, like I was saying that there is a cardinality, okay, entity relationship. Okay, so you can see
Okay.
relationship type leading, the cardinality is 1 is to n. Okay, so that means that ADR address is linked to the email. I think it is written has email, and two entity type is email. So there is one email and it can have multiple email address. Okay, so that is the cardinality which is showing over here. Okay,
Okay.
so basically this provision allows you to design a data model completely. Okay, so
Mm.
in general, when you do a deployment as Mdg C, for example, so you will get a BP data model, but generally you might have already seen that the standard doesn't fits all the organization. So definitely you will have to do enhancement, customization. Okay,
Okay.
so what you will go do is you will open this BP one only, and you will add a new entity, whatever you like, a Z fields. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so you can add a entity. So basically you need to create the Z field in your ECC system first. Okay, and that you can look up into this table. So you can define an entity which is linked to that Z field. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so all those provisions are there in the data model. Okay, so that was the data
Okay.
model. Okay, other things are not so relevant right now. Okay, I'll not do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then you have UI modeling. Okay, so uh, UI is actually configured against a workflow. Okay, but if you go to the edit UI modeling, okay, you can go. It will take you to the FPM screen. Okay, you know about web deploy, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, so UI is assigned against a data model. You
UI.
can see a UI, the UI what we talked. Okay, so there are different UI configurations. Okay, which is assigned
Yeah.
to each workflow. Okay, so in
Okay.
MDG, the UI configuration is made against the data model. Okay, so
Okay.
every data model you can see there are different UI configuration.
Okay.
MDG, BP, APL, and you have worked on FPM, you said, no? So it
Yeah.
will be
Yeah.
very easier
FPM.
for you. Yeah, you will be better than me on this. Okay, once you know how it is linked. Okay, so this is the UI configuration. Once I go and create try to edit, it will take me to the FPM screen. Okay, so as it is linked
Okay.
to the BP data model, it will carry all its uh, fields.
F FPM
So you
configuration window editor. It will shows.
Yes, 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 correct. So in there, when you try to configure anything, you will see the all the fields what is there in that BP data model. Like we saw that address, email. Okay, all fields will be available for you to configure in the FPM screen. Okay,
Okay.
so the BP data model is already linked with your FPM application configuration. Okay, and within that you can very well go ahead and either add a field, add a new field, or completely hide field, or you can even do some changes in the feeder class if you want to do some customization with any value
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Okay, so all
Okay.
those capabilities will be there. Okay,
Okay.
so that is a UI modeling. Okay, then we have this process modeling. Okay, so process modeling talks about the change request. I was talking about change request, right? So I talked
Yeah.
there will
Change
be different
request.
types of change request. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
this activity, this IMG activity, basically allows you to create a new type of change request, or you can very well edit existing change request. Okay, so I just
Okay.
try to show you one of the change request. Okay, so there are different change requests like for creating or kind of things. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. As you said, creation and for
yes, Yes.
as change
So
and as for deletion.
yes,
You mean to say?
yes, yes. So I will. You can see now it is open. I'm just trying to show you in the system whatever I have spoken. Okay. So
Okay.
like you can see here, right? So you can
Type
see
of
this yeah, type of change request. Okay. And within that you can see for customer I was talking, right? So it is this
yeah.
Gust L1P1, okay, which is a create ERP customer. Okay, below that there is Gust L2P1, okay, which is process ERP customer. Process is nothing
Yeah.
but change ERP customer. Okay, then we have Gust L5P1, okay, which is block and unblock ERP customer. Okay,
Okay.
then we have Gust L6P6, which is marked for deletion. So we have different type of change
Kinds of
request.
change requests.
Yes. Okay. And the other bit is you will see that there is workflow assigned to it.
There is.
Workflow in this column, basically in this column. You can see different workflow WS 54003. What I'm pointing now.
Yeah. 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 Zero
Okay.
three. Okay.
003. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically that workflow has different steps. Okay. 3 steps, for example. Okay. So it tells when once this change request is launched, it will follow the path of workflow of this workflow. Okay, 003. Okay. So if you want to do say that okay, I only want one approval, you can very well go into that workflow and change the steps. I will show you the workflow as well. Okay. So this is how it is linked. You have a data model, you have UI against that data model, you have change request which is having a workflow. Okay. So I'm trying to give you a understanding of the linkage. Okay. So that was it, and that was that, and then you have workflow. Okay. So now I will go to the basic workflow, which is the other workflow. Okay. So if you go to that change request workflow, okay, define change request step number. Okay. It will open a the workflows. Okay. So see, so what I was talking is we were saying WS003, this one. Okay. Can you
Yes.
see the screen
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm able to see.
Okay. So you can see here. Okay. This workflow 003 has too many steps assigned. So there are three steps. Okay. One is submission. One another is approval. Third is decision activation despite discrepancy. Okay. So basically, here we define the steps what will be involved in a workflow. So there are certain workflow which has more than these many steps. You can see there are workflow which has 7 steps. Okay, so the steps for the approvers will be defined here. In the session when we have later sessions, I will also give you a brief on the workflow configuration. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the steps. Okay,
So, Saurabh,
yes,
mainly this is the SAP MDG is mainly configuration, mainly control. We can come across mainly configurations or like navigations only, other than our coding part in SAP ABAP and WebDime Pro ABAP.
yes, yes. So you very well understood. Okay, the first thing is we are talking about the basic configuration. Okay, right now.
Okay.
Okay, so like you talked. Okay, so there is something called rule based workflow. Okay, so here you can actually define a services. So you might have developed some service, I think, if you were working on web info as well. Okay,
Yes, yes, I
so
know service. If we are
yes,
supposed to executing WebDrive ProbApp application, before we
yes,
need to create, we need to assign some service
yes,
through some transaction.
yes,
ESS, ISP, something a
yes,
transaction code is there.
yes, yes, yes. So there are transaction codes. Okay, so basically to enhance anything, so these are all configuration to get your MDG working. Okay, so those are MDG configuration. But in a general scenario, when as you have been hired as a web info to work on MDG. Okay, but what they will
Yes.
be looking from you. Okay, you will think what I'm going to do there over there. Okay, so if you can see one change request, there is one option called BADI, business adding.
Business. Yeah.
Okay, so being a wrapper, you might have created done few BADI implementations, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if we go inside this baddie, customize user interface, okay. So we are trying to create a baddie implementation for USMD change request UI of element spot USMD CR request, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do any enhancement, okay, I will not go ahead now. Okay. If you want to do some enhancement, there are different exits. So this baddie is a business add-ins where you can implement your own code. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I will give you an example. Okay. So let's say MDG gives you a screen to create something. Okay. But you also want a additional customer to be created along with it, and you want to show a pop-up to the user, okay,
Mm-hmm.
to where he can select something, okay, which is not out of the box, okay. So to do such kind of enhancement, or you want to see a new field, or there is you want some specific rule to be deployed, okay, then there comes the picture of a ABAPer, okay, because
Okay.
you need to go in here, and once you go in here it will just give you an implementation path, but actual code you have to write in the basically define a ABAP code program, okay, which will
Mm.
call it. So this is how it works. So I don't know whether I cleared your answer. So this is where your picture will lie. So now
Mm.
you will have after this session you will know, or after the training you will see how we are doing, how this FPM and everything is configured, okay, and then we will see the enhancement spots, okay. We will not go into the development side as of, because I'm sure that
Okay.
if you have worked on 5 years on this, it will be very easy for you to pick up, okay. But I will definitely
Okay.
walk you through certain specific example which has been done in many projects, okay. So I will
Okay.
show you some deployment guides, okay, how they have done.
Okay.
I will show you some technical specification to enhance something, for example, okay. I will share
Okay.
definitely not show all the cases because it will be confidential for me, okay. But definitely I will give you brief on how you what methods you have deployed, some examples, okay, through
Okay.
which you will be able to link how those method has been deployed and other stuff. So how a service has been called, like you want a service to be enabled in the workflow through which you want to send an email to the user, okay, on
Okay.
every approval step. So those kind of
Mm-hmm.
example I'll show you. So that is complete coding for MDG. Okay. So
Okay.
those
Okay.
things will be covered. Yeah. But this session, these sessions, I show those things and share a few things, but we will not go into coding picture because that will not be sufficient for the time frame.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so that is where, that's why I showed you the baddie, okay. Then I talked about other workflow. Then there is rule based workflow. I'll show you how a rule based VRF workflow is configured, okay, how you can apply a rule set in the VRF, okay. So this rule set is against a change request. So we can go into the rule set and define a rule set which can do a agent determination or do anything on so it works in the runtime. So on the UI
Yes.
selection also we can do something based on the rule based one. So these things will
Okay.
cover. And I will show you the example of DRF. So there is data replication. This is the data replication. Within data replication, you will see overall basically the custom settings for data replication. And again, in this replication also you have baddies, okay. So you can enhance it, and again this will need a code change, complete ABAP coding, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I'll show you the step path and how it does, which will make you enabled with and comfortable to work with your MDG project.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, Bala, today I will cover. I think we are already more than time. I think, we thought of 1 hour, but yeah. So this is the overall picture and the content what I will try to give you. Okay, and the end of the day, end of the training, I would imagine that um, we will have be in a good position, okay, where you will have understanding. If needed, I will try to engage few people apart from me as well if something specific you need, okay. On the documentation side, so this training content what I shared, actually I don't have it right now. I'm not sharing the screen. Okay, maybe Naveen has already shared. Okay, this training is the content of the training which SAP provides as a part of MDG training. So if you go to SAP site and look for MDG training, so TZ something it is called, is the complete training. Okay, so I will in this period what we will do is we will try to cover up all the things what is generally handed over as part of that SAP training. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will, I think that will be justice. And I'll try to share the documents what I have received. I have undergone that training from SAP 2 years back.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you go to SAP, they will be, they will not. So I have gone through the training, and I'm sure the whatever I have spoken and today was not even clear in. So it was just a 4 day session, 4 day complete 8 hour session. Okay, so it is again similar to 32 hours, but I will not go to, so we have they did more of theory kind of things only. Okay, we will try to go into system and see and try to link things with a map or a real time organization. So so that is the content, and you might have so any questions you have right now, or
From my end, only one question, Saurabh.
yes.
Um, may I know how many years of experience in MDG, Saurabh?
So I've been working in MDG. So MDG, as I said, is a new product. So I think I'm close to 2.5 years now on MDG.
Where currently in
Where I cannot disclose. Okay. So
okay, okay, sorry.
okay. So getting a training is okay. Giving a training is not okay. Okay.
Sorry for.
No worries, generally. But I have been working, so I have done one complete implementation actually, okay, for MDG, okay. Generally enhancements. So in a typical project scenario, okay, so you will have a MDG guy, okay, who will know all this stuff, all the configuration part, okay. You will have a dedicated ABAP guy. You will have a workflow guy. Okay. You will have someone from PI and some expertise from FPM also. Okay. So in your case, as you said, like you are a web guy and WebDen Pro as well as FPM. Okay. So once you have this MDG skill, so what I have seen is people are having ABAP skill, but they are not able to relate to things. Okay. It becomes a bit difficult for them. Okay, to grow further as a complete MDG consultant. Okay, so if you see in the market now, okay, they look for a MDG consultant who knows MDG completely. This is what we are seeing now, and who knows ABAP, who understand all the method, body implementation, etc. So
Okay.
maybe you can project yourself in the future as a MDG technical MDG consultant completely. So yeah, so that is what is my experience. Okay, so I have
Yeah.
worked on MDG materials, okay, MDG customer, and now we are doing another deployment for one other client for MDG customers. So that is why I was trying to focus more majorly on MDG. So it will be easier for me also because it is very fresh, okay, and it helps me as well. When I give you training, it clears few things for me also. So
Okay.
it's not like it definitely is a learning for me as well. So it is not only for sake of giving the training. It will also help me as well. So that is the
Yes,
reason I
yes,
have taken
yes,
that.
yes, yes. Because when we are having subject, it will be once to share two different ones.
Yes,
Automatically, we can get the control on the subject.
yes, that's what. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
so on the later part when we do the session today, I was not prepared, and this is what was in my mind. I have shared. Okay, further sessions, if we agree and everything is finalized, based on the content what we have. Okay, I will do some homework and make sure we cover more details on that. Okay, and
Okay.
we'll see and adjust whenever needed. So feel free to have any doubts or anything. So if not straight away, I will definitely clear up in the next session. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
So that is what, uh, Bara, I hope it's good
Mhm.
for
Okay.
today. Okay.
Is it completed the demo or any one more?
No, I will not go further details because if I go, it is not so useful for you. Okay. All I wanted to
Uh-huh.
show is you the screens. Okay. But screen is not something what is available right now. So once we
Uh-huh.
connect up next time, we will definitely go through the screen also. So the screen will give you a
Okay.
picture of what we are going to see and what. So firstly is the what is the presentation layer. Okay. So what user
Mhm.
sees actually. Then you can easily link to things, and then you try to link what is there in MDG, where from where that workflow is going. If some issues are there, not necessarily you will go into an implementation project. Maybe you go into a support project. Okay, so you need to know where
Okay.
to go, start with to debug things, and where to look for things when it is not working, and those kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Okay.
So we will do those things.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay. So,
okay.
nice talking with you.
Okay, Bala. So, okay, Bala, I don't know whether Naveen is there or not, but you can give your feedback to uh, Naveen,
Okay. Okay.
and based on that, we'll see if we connect it next time. Okay. If you are
Okay.
you happy with the session? We'll be very honest. Like, are you happy with uh, how we will go and the contents what we are going to cover, or you think something
Yeah.
special has to be added?
Yeah. Yeah. I have. I will have. I have.
Okay.
I
Okay.
I came to know before I have confusion. What is exactly SAP MDG? I don't know, and I don't know what is the governance. So I have some little doubts on MDG. So I came to know just now. At least the few things are understanding now.
Yeah.
But I didn't understand what is the workflow. You mean to say rule based workflow and
Okay. Okay. Okay.
uh,
Okay. Okay. So do you know the basic term workflow what it is? Uh,
that I don't
okay.
know actually.
Okay. 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 I will
Some
just
I heard through someone
yeah.
which is mainly useful for integrating or for sending an uh, emails for
Uh,
an approval or rejecting. We might be
okay.
using workflow. That I know, not
Okay. Okay.
completely.
Okay. Okay. I'll just give you a very layman term understanding right now. Okay. Maybe you can
Okay,
definitely go ahead and do a work Google also. Okay. It is very much
okay,
helpful always to go do. Okay. But
okay,
workflow in a general term I'll speak. Okay. So you want to define a process. Okay. So process as we talked, you want the customer to be first submitted by a requester. Okay, then it should go to a submit approval, and then it might also you also want it to send it to a second level of approval, and then you want to submit the record. Okay, so
okay,
this workflow basically gives you a provision, okay, where you can define this process. Okay, so
okay,
in that you will define different steps. Okay, the first step will be submitting the record. Okay, step one. Okay, which will be assigned to some user, you know, right? So it will be assigned to a user or a role. Okay, so a role is like same as in the PFCG role. Okay, so that workflow you can assign, that step can be assigned to some user or a role. Okay, so either you can directly do it to give it to Balu, or if there is a role, or basically you need to define an org unit for that. Okay, so you can assign that over there. Okay, the next step is approval one. So maybe the approval one is Saurabh. Okay, so you assign a
okay,
user over there, and third is again Naveen, for example, third level of approval. So overall
okay,
steps with who is responsible for that is defined
okay,
over there. Okay, and like you very rightly heard, it is used for some email or services kind of things. Okay, so it is not necessary that it is always a user agent who is responsible for that step of workflow. Okay, so in that step of workflow you can also say that it is a background process. Okay, in which you want to send an email to a person.
okay,
Okay, so that is completely a workflow. So basically a workflow is a template. Okay, so this workflow template, okay, can be assigned to several requests. Okay, so you have defined a workflow template where you have 5 steps One is to send, submit. Second is to request. Second is approval. Third is final approval. Fourth is the triggering of email. Okay, once it is approved, you want to send a email. Okay, and you can very well do the email trigger along with the approval. So in the step 3 where you are doing the approval also, okay, you can also do a email trigger. Okay, so all these things is defined in a workflow. Okay, so
Okay.
that is the complete, that is the use of workflow. Okay, so there are two types of workflow. Okay, one is a simple workflow, okay, which will have these kind of 3 steps. Okay, create, request, submit, request, approve, some finalize, approve. Okay, and there is something called rule based workflow, which is a further enhancement of the workflow. Okay, when I say rule based workflow, basically it, you can define some rule set. Okay,
Okay.
so based on some rule, let's say for country India, you want to send the approval to Saurabh. For country US, you want to send it to Naveen. Okay, so you
Okay.
can define that rule set in which you can read the data what is there in the MDG UI. Okay, where user has selected India, and based on that reading, you can send it to the Saurabh or Naveen. So that is the rule-based workflow. Very simple example I am giving.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so that is workflow.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in the rule, and this in the rule-based workflow, you can very well call a service, as you said, right? You define a service to call any web info application, something like that. Okay, so you can give a service name. So in that step of workflow, like in the second step of workflow, it can also call a service, which can be a email triggering. So that service calls
Okay.
a email function, email. So there is a method which is defined for that service. That method actually sends the email to a user, and that
Okay.
yeah, and it has to identify the user which will get the email. So that is picked by that BRF rule. So those kind of things are there. So this is workflow.
Okay. 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 Saurabh, thank you so much.
Is it better now for workflow?
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand. I can understand now.
Okay, okay, well. So yeah, and yeah, that is overview now.
Saurabh, and last question from my end.
Yes.
Uh, is there possibility to given a classroom training there?
So I'm not in Hyderabad.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
in
okay.
Pune.
You are from?
I'm in Pune.
You are giving the classes through online only.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
So so traveling for me and coming over there will be difficult. But yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay.
So
Thank you, Saurabh.
okay, Bala. Okay, Bala. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Okay,
So
okay.
thank you.
Bye.